Beladarim aleha Shabbat Shalom, everyone. I'm Cantor Canizaro, and it's so wonderful to see all of you here tonight. We are going to be, for the next couple of weeks, broadcasting from our homes. In this way, we can give our staff a well-deserved Christmas break. So we will be broadcasting tonight from my home, and next week, Rabbi Weiss will be broadcasting from his home. So welcome, Shabbat Shalom, and I invite you all to join with me as together we're going to sing a song I am particularly fond of, Lecha Dodi, that beautiful poem comparing Shabbat to a bride. Lecha Dodi. Now I'm going to invite each of you to go and get your candles and a cup of wine or a cup of grape juice for our Kiddush. And we're going to begin this section of our service by lighting our candles. There we go. And we'll light our candles as we're going to say together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu v'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Amen. Now we're going to get our Kiddush wine. You get to see all of the back workings tonight. And I invite you to raise your cup of Kiddush wine as we sing together. Shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit ki hu yom tehila lemikra'e kodesh zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim. Shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon hintaltanu baruch atah Adonai mekadesh ha-Shabbat. And we say together, Where has this week vanished? Is it lost forever? Will I ever recover anything from it? The joy of life, the unexpected victory, the realized hope, or the task accomplished? Will I ever be able to banish the memory of pain, the sting of defeat, the heaviness of boredom? On this day, let me keep for a while what must drift away. On this day, let me be free of the burdens that must return. On this day, Shabbat, abide. Now I invite you to stand, if you are able, as we join together in the Baruch Hu. setting of the sun. You unfold the heavens with brilliant moon and stars, and wrap our souls in peace. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv harabim, bechokma potiach she'arim. Baruch atah Adonai Hamariv Haravim. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Vaed. And you may be seated. Now I ask you to join with me as we chant together Ve'ahavta. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha. Ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom alevavecha veshinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'veitecha u'lechtecha v'derech u'v'shochbecha u'v'kumecha u'kshartam le'ot ayadecha v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha u'chtavtam amazuzot beitecha u'visharecha leman tizkeru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'item kedoshim le'Elohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim lihyot lachem le'Elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together. Yada Adonai et Yaakov, Ugalo miyad chazak mimenu, Baruch atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael. Bless our sleep with peace, Adonai, and awaken us to life when we rise. With power sublime, spread over us your shelter of shalom, and through your wisdom, restore us, make us whole. Let your name proclaim your presence in our lives. Be our shield. Make us stronger than the enemies we face. Carry us to safety as on wings. For you are the one who cares for us and sets us free. Watch over us, we who go forth to life. Watch over us, that we may come home in peace, now until the end of time. Baruch atah Adonai, shomer amo Yisrael la'ad. Blessed are you, Adonai, guardian of Israel. The people of Israel shall keep Shabbat throughout the ages as a covenant for all time. It is a sign for all time between me and the people of Israel. For in 6 days Adonai made heaven and earth, and on the 7th day God ceased from work and was refreshed. We now rise again if you are able, and if you are not able to rise, then as the Talmud says, rise in your heart as we join together in the Amidah. Adonai, Sifatai Tiftach, Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha. Adonai, Sifatai Tiftach, Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות באמהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיה הכל אתה רב להושיע. משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מחלקי חיים בחסד, מחיה הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומידו מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיה הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש. And you may be seated. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day, and may all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day, and may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Blessed are you, Adonai, who sanctifies Shabbat. now take a moment to think of those who are hurting, those in our congregation who are hurting physically, those in our congregation who are hurting in mind and in spirit. There has been so much promise and hope this week, as many of our doctors and nurses have received a vaccine that will allow them to treat others in safety. I pray that all of them, all our first responders, all our military, anybody who is out there who puts themselves in harm's way in order to help others, can find blessing from God as we join together in singing Mi Shaberach. We take a moment now to look inside each of our hearts and find the prayer that is written there. Adonai to read. Shabbat Shalom. Can you believe it? This is the last Shabbat of 2020. Shh, I heard the cheering. It's okay. Amen. What an eventful year it has been. It is fitting that the week leading up to this last Shabbat of the year should also be eventful. Let's see. On Sunday, the CDC announced recommended guidelines for who should receive the COVID-19 vaccine next. Saturn and Jupiter put on a splendid show Monday as the Great Conjunction appeared in the sky for the first time in almost 800 years. And shortly thereafter, Congress passed a mammoth coronavirus relief bill. And to top it off, this week we read Vayigash, the continuation of the Joseph story wherein we reach the climax. Joseph reveals himself to his brothers. Wow, what a week. Now, as I thought about the events of this week in relation to our Torah portion, something stood out to me. Vayigash is a parasha of transformations. At the opening of this portion, Joseph, once sold into slavery by his jealous brothers, is now a powerful Egyptian vizier, about to take his brother Benjamin into custody for supposedly stealing a silver goblet, a goblet which Joseph himself planted in Benjamin's bag. Now this action, say the rabbis, is done in order to test his brothers' reactions. Would they help Benjamin, or were they just as jealous and selfish as they used to be? Would they come to Benjamin's rescue, or let him rot in an Egyptian prison? Judah, the very brother whose idea it was in the first place to sell Joseph as a slave, now makes an impassioned plea for his youngest brother. He had promised his father he would take personal responsibility for Benjamin, now the favored son, while they were on their trip to Egypt to get supplies. And as a result, Judah even offers to take Benjamin's place as a slave to the vizier. Now that is a transformation. Joseph himself has also been transformed from the immature youth in love with himself to the leader of Egypt. Jacob, a man who was in mourning and sorrow for his son Joseph, whom he could never forget, is transformed into a man of joy and gratitude. Well, we humans do indeed change during our lifetimes. Yet how many of us handle these changes like Joseph and his brothers? In spite of the true evil that was done to Joseph, both he and his brothers become the forefathers of the 12 tribes. Not only did Joseph himself succeed in overcoming adversity, but his brothers also grew beyond the heinous acts of their youth to establish themselves as future leaders. They did not spend their time looking into the past or attempting to rewrite history, but rather look toward what can be achieved in the future, whether for themselves or ultimately for family and their people. This is a valuable lesson for today, all of us today. Our world is about to transform. Transform from a place of restriction, dissatisfaction, fear, and in many cases sorrow, into what? In a matter of months, we will receive a vaccine that will, over time, open up our world again. But we are not the same people that we were a year ago, nor is our world the same. It has been transformed, and it will continue to transform as we go forward. We have a unique chance to shape this world going forward. As we venture out over the next few months, we will view our surroundings through the lens of experience and maturity. Just as many of us looked through a lens to see the conjunction of Saturn and Jupiter this past week, a conjunction which many believe is ushering in a new era, so we will look at our world through a lens colored by our experiences of the past year. I hope that all of us can take this opportunity to change and shape our world into a better place. Today is Christmas Day. Now, we Jews don't celebrate Christmas. However, we watch others as they do. And hearing what's on their minds, especially the minds of children in this difficult time, can be interesting and heartwarming. I would like to share part of an article with you that Rabbi Bernholtz shared with me earlier this week. I believe it shows the best in us and also the most fragile in a beautiful, unpolished way. And it also shows how even our children have been transformed over this past year. Spoiler alert, as is always the case with something read or sent by my beloved rabbi, grab your tissues. Every holiday season, children write to Santa, scribbling down which toys they want and any burning questions they may have onto letters for mailing to the North Pole. And every year, the U.S. Postal Service makes these letters available for anyone to adopt through its Operation Santa program in order to help make these holiday wishes come true. In non-pandemic times, these letters reflect typical childhood desires and imaginations. Lots of tech gadgets, scooters, puppies, dolls. But this year, the letters offer a unique glimpse into the psyche of these children toughing it out through a crisis unlike anything they've experienced before. Kids everywhere have had to miss out on school and friendships. Millions have seen parents lose jobs, while others have watched loved ones get sick or even die. For many of these children, holiday worries this year have extended far beyond whether they have been naughty or nice. While most of the letters that have come in this year can be described as carefree requests for presents, officials behind the program Operation Santa say that they were not surprised by some of the more gut-wrenching appeals in some of them. As of last Friday morning, more than 23,000 of the letters had been adopted, and the U.S. Postal Service will continue to offer this service every year. I'd like to share with you some of the examples of the letters that were received this year. Dear Santa, hello, how are you? My name is Yahidra. I am 11 years old. The things I wish for is money for the bills. It will make my family happy. I want it because my family always has to go ask my Ilsa, but she is asleep. And they come and my mom and dad have to pay the rent. They work as hard as they can, but my dad needs to go to work at 4:30 a.m. and comes back at 5:20 p.m. But he comes to eat and leaves to go to class, so I don't get to see him. So I hope my wish comes true. Sincerely, Yadhira. Merry Christmas, Santa. Dear Santa, how was your year? I hope you stayed healthy. Did you get to go on vacation? I hope my brother and I made the nice list. I hope you and the elves can stay healthy. I can't wait to see you soon. Love, Chase and Evan. Dear Santa, can I not get presents from you? I just would like a gift card so homeless can get food. I really want a gift from you, but this year I don't only want me to smile, I want someone else to smile, like someone homeless. So please, all I want for Christmas is a smile. From Bryce. Dear Santa, I don't want anything for Christmas, but I would like to ask you if you can do me a favor. Can you please find a cure for COVID-19 and give it to us to save the world? Thank you. Love, Jonah. May we all have the courage and strength to help share our transforming world into a place of joy, hope, and peace. Amen. And as always, we have some announcements. This week we are going to be having tomorrow, well actually right after this service, we are going to have our Zoom Oneg, and the The link is on our calendar, it's on our website. Please join me in our oneg so we can say hi and Shabbat Shalom, and a wish that soon we'll all be able to see each other again. Tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock, we will have Torah study with Rabbi Weiss. That is 9 a.m. So please come to Rabbi Weiss. And beginning in January, our public access is going to be, I guess previously there were 2 different channels on Spectrum that you could get the service. Well, now beginning in January, it's going to be channel 639. So write that one down. If you're watching this on public access, that is the channel you'll need to watch. Now I'm going to ask all of you to please rise, if you are able, as we join together in Aleinu. Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon ha'kol, latet gedula liotzer bereshit, shelo asanu kegoyei ha'aratzot, velo samanu kemishpechot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, v'goralenu kecho hamonam, va'anachnu korim, umishtachavim umodim, lifnei melech, malchei hamlachim, hakadosh baruch hu. V'nemar b'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz, bayom hahu yiyeh Adonai echad, ushmo echad. You may be seated. Our thoughts turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our own people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. This week, we are remembering those who have passed within the past month, for those who are still within the period of Shloshim. Lawrence K. Ingber, Stephen Zelanka, Edwina Davis, Diane Hoffman, David Goldsmith, Ron Cherry, Judith Goldberg, Joan Geiger, Rhoda Sussman, Elaine Bryn, Irina Kashkina, Austin Ratcliffe, Ivan Abrams, and Michael Friedman. We now remember those who have passed in years gone by at the anniversary of their death, marked this year. Oscar Altschuler, Ida Anton, Philip M. Aronson, Michael Balber, Charles Baumgarten, Edward Berger, Melvin Blumenthal, Brian Brereton, Claudia Caron, Sylvia S. Chester, Barbara Cummins, Louis Duglin, Ilse S. de Eichberg, Esther Eller, Edward Fraser, Helen Freeman, Harold Furman, Thomas Ginsberg, Malcolm Glasser, Roberta Golding, Leonard Goldman, Abraham Green, Rose Gross, Joseph Hoffman, Louis Hoffman, Sylvia Jacobson, Sarah Katz, Milton Kay, Dorothy Lanscrow, Lillian J. Lauder, Raymond Levin, Eva Lewis, Bertha Messerman, Ab Modolinsky, Faye Nachumson, Estelle Okeyon, Henry B. Rabinowitz, George Reed, Robert Reed, Etta Rhodes, Arlene Rogozinski, Albert Rosenberg, Harry Schwartz, Maxwell Shaw, Hyman Simon, Ethel Wool Solomon, David Sussman, Joseph Vietti, Irving Bosk, Deborah Yesner. We keep those in our hearts and our minds, as well as those unmentioned, as now we rise together and join in the Mortar's Kaddish, the Kaddish Yatom. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chaye dechol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'vizman kariv v'imru. Amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah mevarach le'alam u'lalmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yithalal, shemei dekudesha barichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shalama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru. Amen. May all who mourn find peace and take comfort as we all say together, Amen. Our closing song is Adon Olam. I invite you to join me. Adon Olam, Asher Malach, B'terem kol Yetzir Nivra, Le'ed Nasa, V'chetzo kol, Azai Melech, Shemo Nikra. And now, if we have something for an oneg, which I know I have some things waiting for me, I invite you all to get your challah or whatever you have, your food, and we're going to say together, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. B'tei avon. And I offer this prayer to all of you. Adonai oz, Adonai yitain, Adonai yivarech et amo v'shalom. May God be with all of you, every one of you, this week and in the weeks going forward, as we join together in that noble task to reshape and transform our world into the world that we want to see. Amen. Shabbat Shalom.